All right. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Kamadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutations. Hopefully, they got that pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua. Pushing to get up out of it. Shalom to the hopefully the believers and listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua. All right, with GMS, all right, Mississippi branch, all right, to my left, all right, to my right, all right, and I'm the brother Yashima, and what we're going to get into, all right, this afternoon, we're going to cover two topics, okay, one, dealing with predestinated faith, okay, because one thing that we've learned, as we grown in the knowledge of the scriptures, is everything was predetermined, before the foundation of the earth. And everyone is subjugated to the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, regardless of popular opinion, when people think they have self-will and that they're able to put themselves in particular situations and, they're able to manipulate, all right, their circumstances, but no, everything is already predetermined and planned out, and all we do is play these things out on earth, man. Everyone is subjugated to the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, whether on the left hand or on the right hand, and we just pray that we are playing out the Lord's will on the right hand side, which is going to lead, okay, to a reward in the time to come, okay? So let's get there, bro.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them who are called according to his promise.
Yeah, so everything works for the good to those that love the Heavenly Father and are called, you see, according to his promise. You see? So then you know that the circumstances that we go through, it was already set up for the elect to go to particular circumstances, and it will benefit them in the spirit, okay, and will condition us for salvation, man. Okay? So all these things that happen, nothing is random. It's all predestined, to those that are called. Okay? Go ahead.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestine to be conformed to the image of his Son,
Yep.
that he may be firstborn among many brethren.
Yeah, so who he did foreknow, he predestined. Okay? See, even the transatlantic slave trade, like everybody that was put on them ships and brought over here to America, it was predestined. Okay? He knew what spirits he was bringing over here. Okay? He knew what spirits he was sending back, okay, into America, man. It's nothing random. You see? Matter of fact, you had some?
1 Peter 4.
Okay, you get that, yeah. That was it on that. Get that, Ephesians 1. You got it, bro.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
Yeah, so nothing random, There's nothing, that the Lord didn't already plan for, okay? The Lord got everything mapped out, He intentionally put that in our situation, okay, as a fiery trial, because we got to be tested, man. The Lord got to see where we at, man. The Lord showing us where we at. Like, damn, okay, I need to work on that. Okay, I need strength in this area. I ain't strong as I thought I was. Okay, the Most High sends us through affliction so we can get a real assessment of where we at. You don't want to go into, okay, the worst time ever with a false assessment of yourself.
Right.
You want to find out in the game,
But you ain't got it.
Yeah. You thought you thought you could play man, then you find out, God damn, this nigga play. You find out when the ball's in the air, this nigga running off from, like damn. No, the Most High show us it's best to see these things in practice. Like shit, okay, I need to make adjustment. I might need to give a little cushion. Just giving the football analogy, I might need to give a little cushion. Come out my break sooner. You make those adjustments in practice, and then you more prepared to deal with, the situation live, man.
Because in practice, that's also not only are you perfecting your skill, but you're also building confidence. You get comfortable with the situation that you're gonna be. Going back to your football analogy, because not everybody's gonna be the same. You go to different games. Not everybody gonna be the same.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some boys bigger than you. They look bigger. They might intimidate you, and those representation of all the trials that's to come, especially Jacob's trouble.
Okay.
But all this practice, the afflictions and the situation is to build your confidence as well, because wisdom and knowledge can be the stability of the times and the strength, strength of salvation.
Okay. Yeah, let's get that on.
Wisdom of Solomon.
1:14.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 14. For he created all things that they might have their beginning, and the generations of the world were healthful.
Not wisdom. Wisdom of Solomon. There's one. No, Sirach 1:14. It's a lot. Okay. Sirach 1:14. That's on me. Yeah.
This is Sirach chapter 1, verse 14. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb.
To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. You see? So you have the egg, the sperm, when it comes to that egg, the scientists have what they spark. Because that's the Lord putting the spirit in that in that joining. When the egg and the sperm join, and it's a little spark, it's that spirit going in there. And within that spirit, guess what? Faith comes in that spirit. The fear of the Lord comes within that spirit from the womb. Okay? That's why he told Jeremiah what he told him. In Jeremiah 1, bring that out. You had something to say? Okay, go ahead.
It's Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
Yeah, so the egg and the sperm, okay, comes from the act of sex. But their spirit, okay, that the Lord puts within their union and forms of life comes from the heavens. You see? So that spirit is already predestined. The Lord knows exactly what spirit he's putting, okay, where, and then what circumstance he's putting that spirit in. And that spirit is already equipped to have the fear of the Lord and have faith if it's of the elect, man. Okay? Because pretty much we were just activated. The fear of the Lord and his faith was always in us from the womb. It just had to be activated through the word. Okay? It was already within us, man. Go ahead.
And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Yeah, a prophet unto the nations. Ordained thee. That's why I say the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. You see? Because if you change vessels like these bodies, you change bodies, but it's the same spirit, the same prophet. Prophets are coming back, man, doing what prophets do. Okay? Keep reading, bro.
Verse 9. Verse 9. Verse 8, verse 6. Then said I, Lord Yahweh, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak.
Yeah, so Jeremiah, okay, was already a prophet before he got here. And when you get here as a prophet, the Lord already has our marching orders within us, man. Okay? And it was all activated through the word. You see? us hearing the word. That's why I say, how can they believe unless they hear? And how can they hear without a preacher? Because the preacher, that's what activates the faith. You know what? We had some.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Romans 10 and start like at 14. You get your book.
This is Revelation chapter 10. Going back to what you said, it was already in us, you know, before we even came back to the earth. It's Revelations 10 and 11. It says, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Because John had to come back again in his light, like like the brother said, come back again in his light and do it all over again. And when he came back, the many different captivities, not captivities, like many different incarnations, you come back, you don't know who you was in your previous life. So you don't already know that you was a prophet, just like Jeremiah didn't know that he was a prophet.
Yeah.
But the Lord put that spirit into him, like he said, he was going to put that spirit in his mouth, and he was going to go and, you keep reading those down. He was going to build up, to root out, pluck up, different kingdoms and nations and people. So John came, it's the same thing with John.
Yep.
And with all the prophets in today's time.
All the believers, those that believe, on the word through the prophets, they're back. Everyone's back in their life. You see, like I say, those women, old, they cared about the nation, they're back. Everyone is back, and the Lord, all right, already has their spirit programmed to believe. You see, there's a victory already written within the elect. You see, that's why I say, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. You see, because there's already a victory written in our members, man, if we of that number. You see? That's what gives us like a confidence and hope. Like Yahushua solidified the victory, man. He just playing it out. And everyone is back in their lot, man. The faithful are back within their lot, man. He has some more in it.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Keep that Ecclesiasticus 27 and 9. You get that Roman publisher.
It's Romans chapter 10, verse 14. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed?
Yep.
And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard?
Yep, whom they have not heard. How can they believe on whom they haven't heard? Because Yahushua, Jesus was being preached. Okay? We were taught that majority of our life. Most of us come from Christian backgrounds or whatever, you was into. But then we heard Yahushua preach. Okay? And then that's really what activated everything. Okay? Got us to researching, got us to reading more, got us to watching videos. Okay? Got us to praying different, praying in the name. You see? Go ahead.
And how shall they preach except they be sent?
How can they preach except they be sent? And the ones that preach were what? Predestinated to do it. Go ahead.
As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace,
yep,
and bring glad tidings of good things.
Yes, go ahead.
But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For as Isaiah said, Lord, who have believed our report?
Go ahead.
So then faith coming by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh.
So faith coming by hearing. So that faith that's in us was activated. Why? Through how? Through the hearing of the word. Okay. That was it on that. Let's get that.
This is Sirach chapter 27,
Ephesians 1,
verse 9.
3. Yeah.
The birds will resort unto their light.
Yep.
So will truth return unto them that practice in her.
So will truth return to those that practice in them. And what started us to practice in this truth? The hearing of the word. Okay? Which activated their faith. And their faith activates obedience. Okay? A change of a lifestyle. Okay? Repentance. You see? And it was all predestinated, man. Okay? Go ahead.
This is Ephesians chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed be Yahweh and Father to our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Hamashiach,
Go ahead.
according as he had chosen us in him because the foundation of the world,
He chose us before the foundation of the world. Go ahead.
that we should be holy and without blame before him in love.
And so we should be holy, okay, and without blame before him in love. Because see, we can be perfect in love right now, you know, within this grace period that we have. Because see, love is pretty much the fulfillment of the law, because the law was pretty much on the foundation of having the love towards your brother, having the love towards your nation. Even in the most gruesome parts of the law, it was still all about love. Okay? When you were stoned, you know, a slothful child, okay? Well, you would do that out of love for the nation, because that nigga can start a lineage that could ruin the nation. And we see what happens when you don't do it. Okay? Tekashi 6ix9ine, okay? O Block, you know?
Glorilla.
Yeah, Glorilla, North Memphis, you know? That's what happens when you don't do it. The nation is ruined. So even you look at something that's harsh, okay, or the scripture tell you, you know, you would stone someone who would try to persuade others to an idolatry, man. Okay? Well, we see the consequences when you don't do it. Christianity, Egyptology, okay? People walking around with an and you know, Sarnetta, all right? You see, this is the result of not Dr. Umar Johnson, okay? Yeah, this nigga singing Jagged Edge, you know, the barbecue, let it through, okay? So even when you go into the harshest part of the law, it was still geared around love for the nation, okay? Removing wickedness, man, and preserving the rest of the nation. You see? But then, like, you know, no stealing. That's look. If you love your brother, would you steal from him? Would you commit adultery? Would you plot to murder him? Would you be covetous of what he had? Okay? So being perfected in love is pretty much the fulfillment of the law. And Yahushua said that, man. And see, in this grace period, we come to realize that, man. You see? Because we understand that we're in a position to keep the law perfect, you know? But we can be perfected in love our intent, you know, towards one another, man. And it was already predestined that the elect, all right, will be like a nation within themselves, man, and be perfected through love in this grace period, man, until we're changed and made perfect, all right, through the technicalities of the law, man. Go ahead.
Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua Hamashiach to himself.
Yep, so we have been predestinated to be adopted like unto children, to brought back into this thing. Okay? Because we all had to be brought back. They said, what, the end should not come, and said what? A great falling away. So it means there had to be a bringing back. And it was predestinated whom the Lord was going to bring back. That's why we don't waste time on people that don't get it. Okay? We might use that to edify, okay? But we're not running people down to get this, man, because the elect was predestined to be brought back. Okay, all we have to do is teach, and the elect gonna be brought back, man. You know? Read.
To the praise and of the glory of his grace.
Yep.
Wherein he have made us accepted in the beloved.
Accepted in the beloved, which is the elect. Okay? You had something?
Yeah, because I was just thinking about what you said. Like, you know, it was already predestined for the elect, you know, to make it back. Like when Yahushua, when he came down and he was starting his ministry, he didn't just randomly go choose anybody. You know, he knew exactly who he wanted and where they were.
Yep.
And he went to the exact location to where they was and got exactly who he wanted. Yeah, because they was already predestined.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he, like you say, he pulled up exactly where they was at. You know? Because what, matter of fact, let me get that for you real quick.
Because if it was just at random, he could have went anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, he could have stayed in his own city.
Dog, he said, I know my sheep.
Follow me. This is Matthew 4:18. This is to bag you up, bro. And Yahushua walking by the Sea of Galilee saw two brethren, Simon called Peter and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishing. And he said unto them, Follow me, I will make you fishers of men.
Right. So they was already chosen, and he already knew who exactly he needed to go and get. You know, like I said, I'm gonna make you fishers of men. Come and follow me. And you had said it earlier, it's already in them.
Yep.
So they automatically, it was through the Spirit. They just, they knew it through the Spirit. They already knew what to do. They went and started following Yahweh Shai.
Because he once they said they straightway left.
Right.
So he activated that faith. He said, I'm gonna make you fishers of men. It clicked. Instantly they left, man. I got another one. This is Mark 2 and 14. Well, I started 13. It says, and he went forth again by the seaside, and all the multitude resorted unto him, and he taught them. And he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the receipt of custom, and he said unto him, Follow me. And he arose and followed him.
Right, like you said, he activated that spirit within him.
Mm-hmm.
He was already chosen. It just said he had multitudes. Yahweh Shai wasn't just choosing anybody. And then also too, he already knew who it wasn't meant for to get it. That's why he told his disciples,
St. John 10.
Blessed are your eyes and your ears that you can see and that you can hear. Because you was already chosen to get this.
Mm-hmm.
It was already chosen for you to be woken up. And I had a precept too.
You got
it. This is Wisdom of Solomon 7, verse 27. We're talking about the wisdom. It says, and being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new.
Yep.
And in all ages enter into holy souls.
Into all ages enter into holy souls. And being but one, she maketh all things new. Because we are becoming new creatures in Yahweh Shai. You see? We're becoming these new creatures in Yahweh Shai. Okay? Yahweh Shai, all right, has been activated pretty much by that faith, is that portion of Yahweh Shai that's in the elect, But when it's activated, she started making things new. Now we start looking at everything through the eyes of Yahweh Shai.
And then it said into all ages, because the spirits that the brothers, the men that the apostles, the disciples that Yahweh Shai chose, they weren't no newly created spirits.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same spirit re-entering into those holy souls. Just like it was from the beginning, because it said all ages, so it had to be the beginning portion, and all ages going through all the time periods up until this present day. It says, in all ages enter into holy souls, she maketh them friends of the Most High and prophets.
Yep, friends of the Most High prophets. They say through all ages, through every era. And that's why, brothers have certain qualities about themselves. Like, man, that brother, he must have been of those noblemen, during the time of the Babylonians that was taken away, in the king's court, But his brother kind of rough and rugged. He probably was out there with David, those 400 men. You see, like, you kind of like, damn, these brothers got qualities of ancient world, of ancient world men, like ancient world qualities, man. Because these spirits been here before, back in these new bodies. You see, through the ages. Let's get that. Yeah.
This is John chapter 10, verse 25. Yahweh shall answer them. I told you, and ye believe not the works that I do in my Father's name. They bear witness of me.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shai. Matter of fact, let's start up because Jake tripping, man. Let's get start at 22. Yeah.
John chapter 10, verse 22. And it was in Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, as it was winter, as it was winter, and Yahushua walked,
Matthew 20:20.
Yahushua walked in the temple.
And it shows you that the Feast of Dedication was biblical, that the Apocrypha lines up with the scriptures, the rest of the scriptures. It's originally part of the scriptures. But Yahushua was representing the Feast of Dedication. What happened during the time of the Greeks. Go ahead.
Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
Mm-hmm.
Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, How long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be Hamashiach, tell us plenty.
Yeah, tell us plain. Okay, so you can imagine Yahushua walking on the porch, Solomon's porch, and then Jake just around, mad, tell us plainly, how long does that make us to doubt? So this is Yahushua's response.
Verse 5, and Yahushua answered them, I told you, and ye believe not.
Yeah, I told you, you didn't believe. You see, I told you, what you, He stood up in the synagogue and read Isaiah, the 61st chapter. Okay, he constantly told Jake who he was, man, but Jake was offended. Go ahead.
And the work that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me.
Yeah, the miracles. You see the miracles. Okay, the blind receiving their sight. The wine turned into, the water turned into wine. Walking on water. Okay, and then John, what John say that if we wrote everything that he did, the earth couldn't contain the books.
Right.
You see, so it's things that that's not even, So he like, look what I'm doing. Go ahead. But this is why they couldn't get it. Go ahead.
Verse 26. But ye
Mhm.
believe not, because ye are not of my sheep.
Yeah, you believe not because you are not of the sheep. That's why it wasn't you. It wasn't put in you from the womb. You wasn't predestined to get it. You ain't of this flock. Okay, go ahead.
As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice,
Mm-hmm.
and I know them, and they follow me.
Yeah, so when he told Peter, okay, and his brother, look, follow me, I'll make you fishers of men. Drop the nets. Gone.
Mm-hmm.
Simon, Levi, which would later become Matthew, when he told him, look, follow me, instantly he followed him. Okay? But then you had niggas surrounding him. How long you make us to doubt? Then you have I'm telling you niggas, man, through word and action. He said, hey, but I'm gonna tell you why you don't get it. You ain't know the sheep. Okay? Well, my sheep hear me and they follow me, man. Hey, you see? That's what this thing is about, man. It's about predestined. That's why they take away all boasting. How can you boast? Okay? How can you become proudful in this thing? No. The reason we here because it's the will of Yahweh Shem outside, man. It's his will. Nothing outside of that, man.
We didn't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah. So Lord, like Esau ain't got no choice about being a wicked. He just playing his part. Esau can't even fully explain why he do the shit he do. You know what I'm saying? Nah, nigga, that's the spirit that's on it. He was predestinated to play that role, man. And that's a scary thing. Like, that's why you gotta serve y'all by Shem Shah with fear and trembling, man. That was it on that. You get that cause see, once we understand that, okay, we're called into this thing, now that's just the beginning. Once you activated, that's just the beginning. That's why it's talking about it should be like honey in our mouth, but in our belly bitter. Okay, because that bitter part, hey, we gotta be conditioned. We gotta go to some suffering to become those leaders and join heirs that Yahweh Shai, all right, wants. When he returns, man. So let's get that.
This is Matthew chapter 20, verse 20.
We'll start at 1. Yep.
Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him.
Yep. So you have the mother, two of the disciples come to Yahushua. She believed because when she worshiped him, did she get rebuked? No, because hey, Yahushua is ordained to be worshipped, by the Heavenly Father, man. The Heavenly Father ordained the worship of Yahushua, man. Okay, go ahead.
And he said unto her, what wilt thou? She said unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on the right hand, and the other on the left, in thy kingdom. But Yahushua answered and said, ye know not what ye ask.
Yahushua was like, look, y'all want this rank, y'all want to be ranked up, huh? All this, like all this malak.
You want me to put you on the level?
Yeah, I won, you want to be a big stepper, huh? Look, boy, you can't even begin to understand what you're asking for right now. Okay? Hey, Yahushua was telling them, man, go ahead.
Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?
Yeah, the baptism of affliction, man. The baptism of being outcast, the cup of betrayal. Okay? You going all out to put on for your people, and your people betray you, man. Imagine how Yahushua felt, man. When his own people gave him up to the Romans, man. Imagine Yahushua had to eat that shit, man. He's healing his people. He's teaching every day. Scripture say he taught daily. Okay? He left a lucrative business of being a carpenter to teach. Okay? And then the same people he was doing these things for, man, grabbed them up and gave them to the Romans, man, to be crucified, man. Which it all had to play out. But there was still some emotions involved, man. He had to drink that cup, man.
And then he saw, once after he was crucified, he saw how they was how they were looking at him when they was, how they were just looking upon him.
Yeah.
He saw their reaction. They were happy.
Yeah.
They were like, maybe they were mocking.
They chose a nigga, man. You see? Like it all played, and see the Most High set that up for Yahushua so he can go through all this, man. But he had to eat it. He had to keep that masculine frame. Pretty much not say nothing, man. Just sit there and that was a hell of a cup. And then the torture of the cross. Okay, Yahushua that's why he had the worst cup, because he got the highest rank. So then they talking about, we want to sit on your left and your right. Like, do you know it's a package that come with this? It's a suffering package that come with, talking about my left and my right. Like, well, yeah, no idea. Okay? But we all have to drink of that cup to become those joint heirs, man. Whatever, in whatever capacity the Lord has for us, man. But one thing we know, the higher the rank, the harder the suffering, man. That's why we always need to just stay in our lane, whatever our portion is, and just deal with what we got. Okay? And that mindset, you trying to reach up, like, nah, there's a different level of suffering up there, man.
Higher the rank, the stronger the drink.
Yeah. All right, you got it, bro.
Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?
Yep.
They say unto him, we are able. And he said unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup.
Yeah, Jake. Yeah, we we could do that. They don't even understand what's, and so I was like, all right, well, you gonna share the drink up, and you going to what the apostles went through, how they died, man. It was some crucial deaths, man. Those 12 men, because those men are going to be on those 12 thrones, right under Yahushua, man. Okay? Peter being crucified upside down. Okay? Then John the Revelator, like, he was put in oil and he survived it. So it's like, God damn. Then when he survived, they put him on the salt mines, man. In his 90s, he was a slave. You see? Those men had some hell of a cups, man. One disciple fell off the fell off a building and he lived, you know, and then they killed him with the sword. You see, it was crucial, man. But hey, like you say, the higher the rank, the stronger the drink, man. But hey, we're all being put in these certain positions because the Lord is purging us from leadership, man. You know. Yeah. That was it.
It said, "Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with.
Yep.
But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it should be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father."
Whom is prepared of the Father. You know, it's like going back to what it's all predestinated.
Right.
We're gonna have that rank, you know. But to get to that rank, you're gonna drink the cup to be a joint heir, to you know, to be those, you know, or those first fruits. Like you gonna drink that cup of your house shot, man. Like Yashima said, man, like 144,000. You know, hey, we pray to be that number, you know. But we have to understand what we asking for as well, man. You know, like this going to be an elite level. It's gonna take an elite level of suffering, man. You know, and that's to come. That's why the spirit is more serious minded now, man. You know, when it comes to particular things, the spirit is about being around the brothers more. You know, being into the scriptures more, praying more. Okay, because hey, we're being conditioned to go through the suffering. You know, and so,
Like you said, they they gotta know what you asking for because they asking for something that's gonna last for an eternity. So you really gonna have to you really gonna have to put the work in for it.
anchor down. He gonna read the wrong, break it down for.
Let me start with verse 1.
Yeah.
This is Romans chapter 5, verse 1. Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with Yahweh through our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in hope and of glory of Yahweh.
Right, because we rejoicing in like the brother mentioned earlier, it's sweet in thy mouth but bitter in thy belly. Because you got good and bad, you got the good, you got the sweet, but you also got the bitter parts of the of this walk. Because we also it's like it's a it's a up and a downside to all the suffering that you have to go through. Because on the flip side, you got that drink, you got to drink of that cup, so you got a lot of things you got to endure, you got to go through. But also too, looking at it from a spiritual sense, you know that suffering is purging something out of you because we gotta understand drinking of that cup is not only just it's also like a detox, you know. That's why we have to go through this. That's why Yahweh said, "You shall indeed be baptized with the baptism he baptized, and you shall indeed drink that cup," because it's like a detox of everything that we've been going through, everything we done picked up in this captivity. So it's benefits to it, and that's you look at it from a spiritual sense. It's always some type of growth, some type of level that you're going to get put on from going through these fiery trials, and that's the reason why the Lord put each and every individual, brother, each and every member of the elect into their life, to go through whatever it is they have to go through and experience.
Verse 3. Not only so, but we glory in tribulations, also knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
Right. See, that's one of the benefits, patience, because these are all attributes and traits that Yahweh Shah exemplified, and that the men that's going to be the 144,000 are going to have to exemplify, because we have to be the 144,000 are being bred to be leaders. So a part of that drinking of that cup, like I said, is a detox, because you have to learn how to have patience when you're in a position of leadership. Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah ain't just choosing on anybody to put up there in leadership, because that's not how the kingdom of heaven is going to be established as an everlasting kingdom.
Verse 4. And patient, experience hope.
Right, and that's like it, and an experience, and that's one of the biggest factors, or biggest experience, or that's one of the biggest things that the Lord does in order for us to grow. You know, even this whole being in captivity is an experience because now we understand how being overbearing, how it'll affect the people. You know that you're ruling over. You know, Esau, Edom, he does everything overboard. He has no balance and don't know how to really. He don't know how to manage or run a kingdom without destroying the people. You know, so even the experience of being in Babylon or America, that's a part of our growth. You know, the 144,000, the elect.
I appreciate for you since you said that. All right. This is Sirach 10:1. It says, "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered."
Right, a wise judge will instruct his people because if I'm a leader or if I'm in a position to govern people, I want them to be in the same position or the same predicament that I'm in. If I'm in a position where I'm making sure that me and my household is straight, I have to make sure that I put the people in that same position. You know, so you're gonna instruct the people in the ways of righteousness so that they can survive and thrive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good.
Not only that, because the people is a reflection of the king, as the scripture says.
It's right here. I read.
Okay.
Sirach 10:2. As a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Yeah.
Kind of, because you have a wicked leader, and he like a sodomite or something. The people gonna be they're gonna be sodomites. Their wicked ways not gonna generate life, and that's gonna cause judgment. That's gonna cause decay.
Yeah, like I say, like that grimy energy, that's in the earth. Like there's Esau. That grimy energy that runs the earth, there's Esau. That's why everybody grimy. Everybody trying to get a one up on you. Everybody trying to scheme. Okay? There's no fear of the Most High. Like the energy comes from Esau, the way he rules the earth. You see? But in the kingdom, that's why we're being groomed. Okay, the first fear Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. So the people we rule gonna have understanding of a fear of a higher power. Because if you look at the people, you gotta understand like that they're gonna look at us in the kingdom like guys in the earth. But then like these guys fear the God, the Most High. Then they gonna see how we're in order to Yahweh Shai. Like, okay, that's gonna play on their minds. To like, okay, the fear of a higher power. Cause see, Jake followed Esau because what? Esau got the riches. So Jake mimicked what they see Esau do. The world mimicked what they see Esau do. Okay? But now the Lord gonna put us in a position where we got the power and the riches, and they gonna see how we got it through what? Fear of Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's gonna influence them, okay, in their fear. That's why I say verse 3, and you got it, bro. An unwise king destroy his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Right, through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. That's why I started with Yahweh Shai, because he is that prudent man, that wise king, that wise judge. That's gonna allow the people to thrive. You know, to have that fear Yahweh Shai, because when he came down, Yahweh Shai was doing. That's why the Lord said, "This is my beloved son, who I'm well pleased." He was showing how to have that perfect relationship and fear of Yahweh Shai. And then he started to teach his men, starting with his disciples, how to have that same energy. And that energy got pushed throughout that Proverbs, when the disciples started to go out and minister. And it was reaching the holy souls, which is the elect. And now that same energy is going throughout the four corners of the earth. And then eventually it's going to be established, because right now it's only touching the elect. But eventually it's going to go throughout the whole earth and be established across the four corners of the entire. In its entirety.
That righteous influence, This Sirach 10:4 said the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
In due time, which is the time we waiting upon, the time we coming upon, because His kingdom, America, is finna be destroyed. Esau is finna be taken out of power. And Yahweh Shai is coming back to conquer these nations and rule over them with an iron fist, all while establishing the nation of Israel, establishing the kingdom of heaven in righteousness. So that due time is the process we in right now.
That grace period that we in, like I say, it was for us to become like Yahweh Shai. So wherever Israelite man is in the earth, that portion of the earth is going to be ruled as if Yahweh Shai was there. And the whole existence is going to be ruled as if the Most High was there through Yahweh Shai. Okay? Understanding what we're becoming. You see? And understanding these things, when we really start to understand these things, that's why we don't have a lot of energy to be debating, all right, dropping an album, okay, a reality show. Like, nah, we have to focus. The truth is about a lot of self-development, man. And when you tap into self-development, you don't have time to do all these madness that Jake is into out here, all these gimmicks, and that Jake is into out here, man.
It's the real CDC, Career Development Center.
Yeah. Yeah, something, bro.
Oh yeah, Deuteronomy 4, verse 6,
Okay.
6 and 7. Well, I'm sorry, 5. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations."
Yep, hey, because this was the nation of Israel is supposed to be an example, all right, of how everyone else should be, And like we were talking about yesterday, Jake is a trendsetter in a lower state. The earth followed Jake. The earth want to dance, sing, okay, play sports, okay. Even Jake in poverty. The earth imitates Jake in their poverty. You see the way Jake dressed in poverty, the sagging, and the street culture. Like the earth imitates Jake in his lower state. So how much more in our righteous estate when we're glorified, man? Go ahead.
We should hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Going back to what you said, like when wherever a brother is, ruling in the land, it's gonna be like Yahweh Shai is there. It's like Yahweh Shai is ruling that specific part of the land. And that's how they're gonna look at the nation of Israel, the 144,000, as if Yahweh Shai was there.
Okay, come. Let's get that Isaiah 1:25.
There's Isaiah chapter 1, verse 25. And I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross and take away thy sin.
Yeah, so the Lord said he will put his hand upon us with just Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is going to, what the scripture say, Yahweh Shai will baptize us in water and what? Fire. That affliction. And that affliction, that's what's doing the purging. The trials, the things that's testing us. That's why the Lord will push you to the limit, man. Because we're going to be pushed to the limit, all right, in the times that we coming into, man. Let's get that in 2 Timothy 2:10. Unless you had something else. Okay. Keep going, bro.
And I will restore thy judges as at the first.
I will restore our judges at the first. So we're being restored to the position of judges, man. But hey, there's things in us, especially in this westernized, effeminate, emotional ass culture we was raised in, man. We had a lot of BS that's being purged out of us, man. So we can be restored to those judges, man. Okay, go ahead.
And thy counselors as at the beginning.
And our counselors at the beginning. You see? Go ahead. Wise men. Go ahead.
Afterwards thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. The faithful city.
The city of righteousness, the faithful city. Okay? That's what we're being restored to. You see? the Lord is restoring us back to those leadership roles in the earth because we had it before, but we failed. Okay? And as we get back to that, there's a purging process to get back to that, man. You know? You got it, bro.
You said 2 Timothy?
Yeah.
It's 2 Timothy 2:10.
Yeah.
Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahushua.
Yeah, so we endure all things for the elect's sake because Yahushua did that. Like I say, all that Yahushua went through, he still know that he still knew that he had to go all the way through with it for the elect's sake, man. And through the elect, the rest of the nation is going to be saved in the kingdom through childbirth, man. Okay? So Yahushua knew that he had to endure, all right, people wanting to kill him all the time. He had to endure people trying to trip him up. Okay? He had to endure betrayal and all these different things. Okay? For the sake of what? The elect. And we have to have that same selfless mind frame. Like, we go through personal things in our life and, certain things happen that throw us off, man. But we still got to fulfill our office, man, for the elect's sake, man. Okay, like Apostle Paul, he was going through all them things. And when he got to the end of going through the things that he was going through, okay, what did he say? And after all this, still had to care for the churches, man. Okay? And that's part of being a leader, understanding that, no, as a leader, that means that we have an office. Okay? And that office comes with responsibilities, man. You see? That's why the scripture say to whom much given, much is required. Okay? Go ahead.
It said that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahushua with eternal glory. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him.
And see, that's part of the discipline, being dead to this world. Okay? Being dead to this society. Okay? Not entangled and caught up in it, man. Because us being dead benefits the church. When we don't have all these affairs and engagements and entanglements of this world, we're able to benefit the church more, man. Okay? And that's going to lead to a reward. And that's making us like unto Yahushua. Yahushua wasn't worried about being popular in Rome. They tried to make him king and he fled away. He wasn't about, all right, trying to elevate in worldly status, man. He was all about the work of the Father, man. And now we all about the work of Yahushua. Okay? So we be dead with him, which that takes extreme discipline to be dead in this society where everything is so convenient, It's just so easy to please your flesh and your lust all the time. It takes an extreme amount of discipline, man. Okay? But to reign with Yahushua, we want to constantly apply that discipline, okay, into the time of our change, man. Go ahead.
If we suffer, we shall also reign with him.
Mm-hmm.
If we deny him, he will also deny us.
Hey, so if we suffer, we're going to reign with him. That's part of the purging. Because the suffering is just a purging process, man. Okay?
Spiritual detox.
Spiritual detox. You see? And that's going to lead to us reigning with him. You see? This is what this thing is about. This grace period is also a purging period for, the men whom going to be joint heirs with Yahushua. Okay? Get that in Sirach 30 and 1, and we can end it there unless you had something. All right. Get that Sirach 30 and 1.
That's Sirach chapter 30, verse 1. He that loveth his son, he that loveth his son causeth him to oft to feel the rod.
Just read again.
He that loveth his son causes him to oft to feel the rod.
He that loveth his son causes him oft to feel the rod, which is for correction. Go ahead.
That he may have joy of him in the end.
That he may have joy of him in the end. And Yahushua was that first example. Yahushua had to feel that rod. Okay, so he could become that finished product that Yahushua, that the Heavenly Father wanted. Okay, now Yahushua is fit to be the king over all existence, but he had to go through what? That ride first, that suffering. Okay, we have to go through that ride. That's why we often feel the ride, man. Go through different sufferings, man, because hey, the Lord wants joy of us at the end. He wants that finished product, man. And that's what this thing is about. Okay, it's becoming leaders, man. It's suffering, before we get to eternal perks. You see? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's Jeremiah 29:11, because like you said, that he may have joy of him in the end.
Yep.
It says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end."
And expect the end.
And to get to that expected end, we have to feel the ride off.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go through all the different sufferings that we got to go through so that the Lord can have that joy of us in the end, so we can have that expected end.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process to get into it.
Yep. So hey, like you say, everything is a simulation. All these circumstances that we're in, it's all a simulation for the elect's sake. To build us up to a certain point, so we can be built a certain way. All right, and be fit for being joint heirs with Yahweh Shah, man. It's a dog fight. It's girl, you got girl by loins, man, in the spirit. Anything else? All right, well, with that, we pray with you, brothers. All right, then you sisters will edify once again. We give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kabadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful. Shalom.
Shalom.